forgive me if I look ugly, but like, no, these are like genuine moments that I need to document.
Hey, I got Greyhound.
And say what?
You waiting on the Greyhound?
Yeah, for tonight.
No.
Yeah. I was about to say, though, these are moments that I need to document without worrying about my looks, because beauty comes from within. But I just got emotional because it was a sweet young lady that just came up to me and was asking if I was okay, because I got all my bags and everything with me, and I'm pretty sure I look like I'm struggling, like I don't have anywhere to go, but I do. I do have somewhere to go, and I know it looks like an unstable situation, because in some ways it is, and she just seemed really empathetic, and I could just see the empathy in her eyes, and it just made me emotional, and it made me upset that I'm even in a situation like this again, and I just, there's a lot that's running through my mind, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm trying not to resent myself for going through something that even looks like homelessness. Even though I do have somewhere that I'm heading to, it's still not like my home, you know what I mean? And I've been going through this for years, for like the past like 3-4 years, maybe even 5 years. And I told myself, I'm trying not to resent myself for getting myself to this point, because it doesn't really look like self-love. It doesn't look like self-care. And then that other voice came through, my higher self. And my higher self was like, well, you're the only one in your family that's actually making an effort to break generational curses. Okay? The rest of my family is still stuck. They're not traveling. Like, I just got finished traveling for a whole month. Like, I was on the road for a whole month, unexpectedly traveling the US. And of course, the way that it happened in a very unexpected way, and in a very unconventional way. But nonetheless, it happened, and I allowed it to happen. I chose to travel the US for free without really knowing where I was going to stay. I did that, and I have a lot of beautiful pictures because of that, and a lot of beautiful footage, and I saw the beach of Monterey, California, and I've been through this because I decided to leave my hometown. And it's hard out here, man. It's hard to make it, especially when you don't know what you want to do, and you don't know how you want to go about things. When you are trying to find yourself and you go out into the world by yourself, it's dangerous. And my higher self crept in and was like, I understand why you feel that way, but at the same time, you're going through all of this because you're the only one that was brave enough to leave your hometown. That goes for the state that I was born in. I got family members that I was born in Maryland, and I even was able to visit Maryland on this trip, which I haven't been in Maryland since I was 9 years old at my grandmother's funeral. She passed away in Maryland because that's where most of my family is and was. And even my family in Maryland, they've been there since I was like born, and they're like full-grown adults, like in their 30s and 40s. And I'm like, then the family that I grew up with, my immediate family, my close family that I grew up with in this small city in Tennessee, they're still there. When I left in 2023. Guess what? They're all still there, and it's almost 2026. But I'm just brave. And sometimes bravery can look a lot like stupidity. And sometimes bravery can look a lot like immaturity. And I'm sure I look like all those things to a lot of people. But it doesn't matter. All that matters is what I look like to myself. And to me, I do feel that, I can be unstable and make decisions very impulsively and make decisions out of my emotions and miss out on opportunities because of my anger and my emotions. But I always manifested. There was always a manifestation behind all of it. I never just did stuff just to do it. There was always a conscious decision to remove myself, a conscious decision to leave a toxic environment, to leave a toxic job, or to leave a toxic relationship, and then I ended up not knowing where to go. So, but my flaw in the matter is not being smarter when I'm sorry if this video is boring. Like, usually I'm like, oh, I'm so bubbly, but I only got 3 hours of sleep. I'm waiting on a Greyhound bus. I'm sorry, okay? I was just thinking about that. Like, I'm usually fun and upbeat and bubbly, but I feel like I'm boring right now. But, I mean, whatever. Either you into it or you not, okay? I'm still Sydney Island at the end of the day. But and one thing I'm learning from this is it is totally okay to decide that something it's okay to outgrow environments and jobs and certain friends and certain boyfriends and certain types of lifestyles. It's okay to outgrow that. But just make sure that you are planning and creating a foundation for yourself around the decision to let go of the toxicity. Okay? So if you're deciding that job is too toxic and you want to go, for me, I'm all or nothing. Either I'm going to do it or I'm not. And if I decide not to do it, if I decide that I don't want to be in this toxic environment anymore, I'm going to leave. Even if it puts me in a dangerous situation, and maybe that's not a good thing. It can make, obviously it can put me in danger, but at the same time, I know that I'm divinely protected and I'm never really in danger. And whenever I chose to abruptly leave, there's a dog barking. But whenever I chose to abruptly leave an environment that I felt was no longer serving me, I'm raising my voice because there's a lot of noise. Whenever I chose to abruptly leave an environment that I felt no longer served me, or a relationship, which for me, the reason why I'm in this situation is because I'm leaving a relationship that I feel like really wasn't serving me. It really wasn't safe. He really did not make me feel safe, and he didn't care to make me feel safe. He was losing his cool, raising his voice behind the wheel, knowing that if you lose your cool behind the wheel, you could get us killed. And we in a big ass truck, a big ass semi truck, 18-wheeler, 16-wheeler, whatever you call it, and you don't care. Because it's all about you and your emotions. And you ain't fooling nobody. You can say you care, but actions speak louder than words. I'm gonna have to make a what do you call it? A story time on yet another chaotic experience with another mentally unstable Pisces. It was very, very mentally unstable. But yeah, this nice woman walked up to me and offered for me to, stay with her, and we exchanged numbers. And there's a whole lot to the story, y'all. There's a whole lot to the story. I'll probably write an autobiography and share it all, but I'm not ready to talk about all the details because I'm tired. And right now in this situation, it really don't matter. I chose to get myself into this. What was I talking about at the beginning of this video? Like, what was I talking about when I started this video off? Well, I was just talking about being the one to break generational curses and being the one to decide to break away and to find myself. And I'm the only one in my family doing that. And it's hard. It's hard. I feel a lot of weight on my shoulders because I know that I have some family members that were toxic ever since I was born, and they're still toxic 30 years later. And I'm almost 30, right? They're still toxic, and they never tried to get out of their comfort zone in order to be a better version of themselves. And that's all I do. All the time. Every year. I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone in order to be a better version of myself for the future generation, for my future children, for my grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren, and so on. It's all about leaving a legacy. And I know that sometimes you have to do very challenging things in order to build a legacy. If you want to be somebody, you can't do what everybody else do. If you want to go far and be exceptional, you have to do what exceptional people do. And a lot of people, most people, choose to do what ordinary people do because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of what might happen if they do something different. It's fear of the unknown. But I'm one of those people where I fear staying the same and being stuck in toxic cycles. I fear that more than the unknown. Because, and it all it all started with me going through abuse and just dealing with a very dysfunctional family and telling myself that I could not take it anymore. And I told myself there has to be somewhere better than here. I was so scared to leave. It took me months, damn near, it was like years, to actually like just leave for real, like for a long period of time. I left and I was gone for 9 months. I haven't seen that family in 2 years. But prior to the 2-year break, there was a 9-month break. And it happened because I told myself there has to be something better than here. I know that God is not going to leave me hanging high and dry like that. I know that God is not going to leave me, like, I know there's no way that God would say, you're stuck with these people. You're stuck with these people that don't value you. You're stuck with these people that don't value you. They don't value your voice. They always trying to suppress your voice. They're always trying to bring you down. They got a lot of jealousy towards you. They sending you the evil eye. They bringing your physical body, they're bringing your physical health down. They feel like you should be sick because they sick. Like, God would never want you to be around people like that. So you have to go. And it's going to be hard when you leave. Because I've been through a lot, so I know. It's going to be very, very hard. Unless you're just one of them, But the thing is, even when you don't, know what you're going to do or where you're going to go, there's always going to be somebody that is willing to lend a helping hand. And you could say that person or those people will be God moving through them. Strengthen your relationship with God, and you will attract people who treat you the way God treats you. You will attract people who carry out God's love and people who just make everything make sense. So if you want to break generational curses and do things that nobody in your family has ever done. You want to be the first millionaire. You want to be the first person to go to college in your family. You want to be the first person to start a business in your family. You're going to have to do things that no one in your family has ever done. In order to get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And that's something I'm learning. And I know you may be thinking, who are you to say any of this? You know? You're looking crazy with your bags outside. You know? But I have a place to go. I have a plan. I'm excited about the plan. And I have a plan. When I was going through something like this where, you know, I had to pack up and just abruptly go somewhere, I didn't have a plan. I just went wherever the wind blew me. And it made my journey a lot more tumultuous and a lot more chaotic and a lot more confusing and a lot more stressful. But this time around, at my age now, I have a plan. I have a place to go, and I have a plan. Okay? So that's that. I hope that my words help somebody. And that's why I do YouTube. Is I do it for relatability, you know. I like to create content that people can relate to. So I'm sure you can see it in my eyes, and I'm very, very tired. I only got like 3.5 hours of sleep last night because this situation I just couldn't go to sleep. Dealing with that man, knowing that he really didn't have my best interest in mind, and my dumb ass really was over here thinking, is it really over? Like, should we really break up? Is it really over? Yes, nigga. Like, yes. Okay? The man intentionally lit a cigarette or cigar around you after you told him that you had inflammation of the lungs, and he did it out of spite because he was mad at you. Like, yes, it's time to go. And not only that, but it's time to block his ass. Like, but thanks to my beloved friend, as the country people, the southern people say, my friend guy. Thanks to him, he kind of like knocked me into my senses and was like, girl, didn't you just say that this dude was screaming behind the wheel, losing his temper, losing his cool, putting you in danger? Didn't you just say? And then he lit that cigarette. No, you couldn't breathe. And then he just a whole lot of other stuff that I'm not even going to mention in this video, that most women who really like care about themselves is going to look at like, yeah, that's a red flag and you better run. Yeah, that's a red flag, you better run, sister. But you don't. He's crazy. And he doesn't seem to care about where he will end up. And that carelessness and that recklessness could get you injured or killed. And that's the reality of it. It's not me exaggerating. Okay? I've had enough being around people who consistently put me in danger and they don't care. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you know, it's all about them. So that's it. That's all I have for this video. What's next for Sydney Island adventure? And another part of me is like, girl, I'm tired of adventure. I need a nap. That's all I've been experiencing is adventure. But it's like the chaotic OMG, I need a place to stay, I'm hungry, I need money, I'm here, I'm there, I have to live with this stranger, I gotta do this. It's like, I'm done with that type of adventure. It's time for like security. It's time to have security within that adventure. And that's where we're headed. We're headed towards getting therapy, continuing to do acting and music, and continuing to build a strong relationship with the artists of my community, and continuing to create friendships that are rooted in genuine love, and continuing to remove the dark entities of my bloodline, i.e. breaking generational curses. And we're gonna just keep doing that until we die, I guess. Yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up. I'm tired as hell, and I wonder if I'm going to get sleep tonight. Probably not. I'm gonna be out here waiting for this goddamn bus until dark, because the bus don't come till dark. Yeah. And luckily, like, I know that there are people, complete strangers, who will show that they care. And that lady that just walked up to me, she was like, oh my god, you know, are you okay? Like, you're gonna have to wait that long? Like, yeah, girl, but I'm gonna be okay. At least I have a place to go this time. So that's it. That's all I got. Give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends.